What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Jashuha Ayers, #Ayers Fitness, checking in, signing in, logging in, vlogging in. In today's video, I'm gonna go over my top 3 favorite tricep building exercises. So, the number one exercise that I've been using for many years, I used to call it a dumbbell overhead tricep extension, but the proper name for it is called a French press. And what this is gonna do, as you'll see, there's 3 parts of the tricep. There's kind of the head that runs right here. There's a head that's kind of in the middle that's kind of hidden underneath. And then you got the big meaty part right here in the back. So what this is gonna be doing, this exercise is gonna be targeting the back, which is gonna help that arm create that very nice, big, thick illusion. So this tricep right here is gonna make it kind of have that nice long look, and it's gonna help with that separation. Working the back one's gonna help with that separation too. But this back one getting bigger is just gonna make your arm look a lot fuller, all right? So remember, your triceps is 2/3 of your arms. You have 3 tricep muscles in each arm and 2 bicep muscles in each arm. So you gotta make sure that you're hitting your triceps if you really want your arms to pop and look full and big. So the way that we're gonna do this exercise, grab a dumbbell right here, and if you need to kind of like use your thigh to swing it up, you can. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of make a diamond with your hands like that, right? Boom, over. And we're gonna stand up nice and tall right here, and I'm gonna show you guys from the side. What we want to avoid when doing this exercise is hyperextending. So what's happening is when we're hyperextending like this, it's creating a lot of force in this direction into my lumbar. So it's gonna be my low spine. We wanna make sure that we avoid that way. That way we avoid any low back injuries, as well as our neck and the cervical region. We wanna make sure that we're keeping a neutral head, so that way we don't wanna be cranking our head back or forward or to the side or anything like that, just to kind of help make sure that we're keeping everything in our vertebrae nice and healthy. So up nice and tall right here, core's gonna be tight and engaged, and we're gonna do a posterior tilt. So rock our hips forward as opposed to back and arching that booty. Tuck it under right here, keep that core nice and tight, bring it down as far as you can comfortably, extend, and squeeze those triceps, all right? So I'm gonna show you guys from a few different angles right here, what it's gonna look like, boom. Boom, stay nice and solid, make sure you're not hitting yourself in the head with the dumbbell, keeping that core nice and engaged, that posterior pelvic tilt, no arching in that low back as much as possible. Try to really just avoid that. Boom, all right, so that is the number one exercise. And that used to be my favorite for many, many years. But lately, I've been incorporating more skull crushers, which is gonna be the next exercise that we're gonna go over. French press, like I said, was my number one for many years. It really helped bring out the thickness and build up the meat in the back of my arms. But right now, I've really actually been enjoying skull crushers, which is the next exercise that we're gonna get into. It used to hurt my elbows for whatever reason in the past, so I stayed away from it, honestly, for many, many years. And I just started doing it again several months ago, and I don't really get any elbow pain from it at all, so I've been able to like really go heavy on it and crank it out, and it feels really good, and it just kind of gets real deep into my tricep. I can feel it really in the intermediate tricep right here, kind of like in the middle, and then also in the long hip, in the back as well too. It really just kind of gets a good stretch. I do a little bit different, as you guys are gonna see, as opposed to just coming straight to my skull. I like to go a little bit further to kind of really get some more activation in that tricep, and also it's gonna be helping because when you're getting that shoulder kind of extension right here, it's gonna help lengthen everything across in that tricep region. So let's go ahead and do it. And normally I would do it on a bench. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so getting into the second exercise, which has currently been my favorite one so far this year, 2020, the skull crusher. So what you're gonna need, a camber bar or a preacher bar, and that's gonna look like this right here. And you could use a straight bar if you like, but I prefer the camber bars just because it has more positioning for the wrist for different angles, so that way you're not locked into that position. For me personally, when I have a straight bar, it kind of bugs my wrist, so I like having a camber bar. And you're gonna need a bench or a box or whatever you can do, that way you can lay on it. So you're gonna pick the bar up. We're gonna lay down on the bench right here. So typically traditional when people do skull crushers, and I'm gonna show you guys the grip that I like to use. So I like to personally go right here. I don't like going in super close. I also don't like it out here super wide. I kind of like this medium grip, boom, right there. So on this bar particularly, it's where the knurling meets the smooth part. That's where I like to grip it right about. So traditional skull crushers, and also a couple things. Reason I have my feet up is so I can keep my lower back, my lumbar, pressed down. That is my back making the noise on the bench. So that way you can keep your lumbar compressed down on the bench. So that way, once again, we're not arching and creating that pressure in that low back. And also with that, sometimes you'll see I lift my feet up. I like to do this. That way it helps kind of put a little bit more weight into my low back to kind of help keep it flat on the bench, okay? So since this is light, I'll be able to just do it with my feet right here. Traditional skull crushers, people come down right here. You'll have it right literally at your skull. at your forehead and then extend up, which is great. But for me personally, I scoot up a little bit higher on the bench so my head's still supported by the bench, right? Okay, so then make sure your back's nice and flat, core's tight and engaged, and I'm gonna come up and I'm actually gonna let it go down below my head, below the bench, and kind of keep my elbows as far forward as possible. So I'm not coming back here, turning it into a pullover, but essentially a slight pullover, elbows right here, and then extend. That's gonna really get nice and deep into the tricep. So if you'll see, I'm coming all the way down here, boom. Right there. So that's how you do skull crushers. And I definitely recommend playing around with it, trying it, try the different grips, so that way you can try the different angles of the bar. Also try and see if you like it better to the forehead, or if you like it a little bit better my way when you kind of just go a little bit further. I just really do feel like the next few days, it's really nice and sore deep inside that tricep, so I've really been enjoying that. Third and final tricep exercise of this video. Okay, so for the third and final tricep exercise movement of this video, this is gonna be a rope tricep push down. So what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna grab the rope right here, and sometimes I do like to switch and grab kind of like the rubber part at the bottom, but for this one, we're just gonna be grabbing the rope right here, okay? A couple important things. We're gonna pull it down, we'll step away from a little bit, slight bend in the knees, chest is out, core is nice and tight, elbows are gonna stay locked to the side, okay? I don't wanna see any traveling elbows, letting it come up like this. Elbows stay locked in place. We're gonna come down and split our wrist apart. So if I'm showing you from the side, we're not necessarily coming straight down like this right here, okay? We're gonna come down and split it out to our pockets, lock it out so that way we're fully locking out the triceps. Up, down, right here. Keeping that core nice and tight. Once again, elbows locked in place, neutral head, boom, down, split, lock. Down, split, lock, and we come up. Make sure it's not coming away from you like this. Keep it nice and close to the body. Everything's nice and tight. So that way we're just utilizing those triceps right there. Okay, so that's gonna conclude this video. Those are my top 3 favorite tricep exercises for building nice, big, thick triceps. Like I said, right now, my current favorite has been the skull crushers, but I do attribute most of my tricep mass is gonna be due to the overhead tricep extension, AKA the French press. I've went heavy on those for many years. I've done them for a long time, and they just kind of really help bring up my triceps, get the thickness in the back, and kind of help make the arms fill out and look nice and big. So those are and have been my favorite for many, many years. So I definitely recommend you guys giving it a try. If you guys have any tricep exercises that you recommend, that you think that I should try out, please go ahead and drop them down below. If you guys have any questions, also let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. Comment down below, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Share this video if you found it useful. Also make sure you guys subscribe, that way you guys can stay up to date with all my latest videos. That concludes this video. Till next time, #AyersFitness. Boom, out.